as we had mentioned previous shows, but if you may be watching this segment after the fact or listening to it after the fact, but in previous shows we talked about obviously Mississippi and Texas reopening and not having reopening at least capacity to near 100%. We're also going to have this instance where people are not required to wear a mask anymore because there was a statewide mask mandate in both of those states, in Texas, which is where I am. And of course, you saw people reacting, being mad at the governor, who I'm mad at because he's a statist. He's a little authoritarian. This shouldn't have even been a thing, yet it was. But people are so oblivious. Leftists, no, not people. Let's just call them what they are. Leftists are so oblivious to what's actually happening with this that they make stupid posts like this. And again, if you get secondhand cringe, my apologies. I'm not paying for your hospital bills. So this fool says on this day, because it was Texas Independence Day when he talked about it, he posts a post with a mask that says, "Come and take it." God damn it. No, this is obviously I don't want to say it. It's not a shot. It's taking influence from those who have generally referred to firearms and guns. Again, if you're cringing right now, I'm sorry, but I'm not paying for your medical bills. If you have an aneurysm because of how hard you had to cringe because of this. Check this out. And what I'm about to say should go without saying. This guy's an idiot, of course. But I guess the most important thing that we need to take from this is how they are control freaks, as I've always said. And they think that in the event that they can't force you to do something, you're taking from them, which is a psychopathic way of thinking. But that's how they are. Because the only thing that changed, as I've mentioned, you now have, as I had suggested, which should have been the solution for a very long time, you now have the option. You have the freedom to make the decision for yourself in regards to how you choose to run and operate your own business. Yourself, for that matter, your body. And safety when it comes to COVID and your response to it. That was always the suggestion. I'd said this before y'all were talking about 15 days slow spread. Let free people be free and make decisions for themselves. That's the only thing that changes now. Because before you were using the state to force people to have to comply to certain rules with their persons and their business. Now that no longer exists. It does not mean, and this should go without saying, but it doesn't because they're idiots. You can still wear a mask. If you want to continue to have a diaper on your face wherever you go, you can do that. There is no mandate that says you can't wear a mask. You can continue to wear it. If you operating on a business and you want to require as a policy people to wear a mask, that's your dress code. You have to have a diaper on your face if you're going to shop here. You can do that. Doesn't mean that we have to like it. Doesn't mean that we have to agree with it. But you are well within your right to enforce those rules. And some people, businesses, have already announced that they're going to do that anyway. These people are mad, however, at the idea that, certain business owners, certain individuals will not have that as a policy, will not have that as a practice. So they're upset. And so they conflate that with this. Now, all of a sudden, you're taking from them. Ain't nobody coming for your punk ass mask. We're not interested. Nobody's coming for you. Nobody's trying to take it from you. It's a terrible analogy, but nobody's trying to snatch the mask from you. The only thing that's changing is that you can't force us to have it on our face, on our purses and our property. Now, again, for your property, you can do whatever it is that you want. Social distances require people to be 10 feet from each other. Whatever you want to do on your own property, that's what you are well within your right to do. Only thing that changed now is you can't do it to us. You can't force us to do it with our property. And they hate that. Why do they hate it so much? Because they are control freaks. You see in all these people, especially out of towners, people out of the state, but including people in the state, who's talking about Greg Abbott and how he failed. It's like, damn, I can give you a mountain of different things and ways in which he failed. The only thing that changed right now is that, and he failed in this regards because he shouldn't have enacted this in the first place. That's where he failed. But they're mad at Abbott because he's not as authoritarian as they want him to be. They're mad at the freedom to choose, which is hilarious because this often comes from the pro-choice side. But they're mad at the idea that you have a right to make a decision for yourself and your property. Oh my God. You're coming to take my mask. Ain't nobody coming for shit. Jack wagon, nobody's coming for your mask. They hate freedom that much to where it's not good enough that they practice that on their own property, that we have to join them in their efforts, right? We have to be forced. And of course, they'll always say, well, it's for saving lives and all that. Of course, they'll continue to say that. But the reality of the situation is if you go out, even before the virus was a thing, you are already assuming a risk. We assume this a risk as human beings, whether you liked it or not. We always assume this risk. It's not a new thing. All we're doing is assuming the risk again and with other people. Now, if you want to remain in a bubble for the rest of your life, go for it, guys. Nobody's saying that, you can't do that or you shouldn't be allowed to do it. It's just you can't force us. What is it about y'all wanting aggression so bad to where it's just not enough that you convince people to adopt these policies if you really think that they make you safe? Just give us the evidence, and if the evidence shows, people should follow. You just can't use the threat of a government gun to then force people to do it. They hate it because they're control freaks. This is why I continue to tell you why y'all want to share government with these people so bad is beyond me, because they have all the thing they want is power, control. They despise. They're hurting at this idea that they can't control people's lives, and people aren't as miserable as them. People don't act in the way that they act. So they're mad. All that other stuff, when they act like this is about health or any of that, despite what the numbers show with certain states and countries with their mask mandates and without them having, it seems that it's not having an impact in the regards that they said that it was supposed to. Never mind that. But you're control freaks, and nobody's coming for your mask, you idiot.